Family, what's up? Kyle Henderson, BAMA Football on YouTube. Today, I am doing two things at once, okay? I'm gonna make my famous fish ceviche, all right? We've been talking about it. I'm gonna make it for you. Also, I'm gonna talk Alabama's football schedule. You know, I realized that I haven't put together the games that they're going to win through the season. I don't know if I'm going to go like how far they're going to go, but I'll walk through the 2025 season with you. So let's go over the ingredients for the ceviche first. I appreciate you guys hitting the thumbs up button. Let me get the ingredients, and then as I chop, we will talk the schedule. Okay, that's how it'll go. So we got one red onion. All right, you can call them purple. I call them red. You got to get a lot of limes for this. So I went over to a tienda. That's a little Mexican grocery store that we have. They have some really great limes. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 commandments. Plah. No, so you got to get a lot of limes. Cucumber, some tomatoes. I got a couple lemons. You get some cilantro as well. And then I'll show you what this is. It's basically kind of like a clam juice. If anybody has had like clamato, right? That's basically what we're working with. I got a really nice avocado. I mean, look at the avocado. This is so nice. And then, of course, the star of the show is going to be some red snapper that I'm going to cut at the end. And I'll explain to you guys how it becomes a ceviche. It's a Peruvian dish. A lot of people like it. I love it. It's a nice dish where, I mean, right now it is 92. Probably feels like 105 right now in Tuscaloosa. So this is a nice summer dish. So let's get to chopping. Let's get to talking, and we'll do the limes last. So we'll put this on our secondary cutting board. We'll put our lemons there as well. We'll do our tomatoes, and we'll do our cilantro. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put everything in this big bowl. And as we go, then we'll put this in the fridge, let the citrus cook the fish, and then we'll be ready to feast. All right, as we begin chopping, let's talk Alabama versus Florida State. I've had a lot of time to think about Alabama and Florida State. I really have. And the thing about it is I'm kind of cautious to take that 13.5 point spread. And I'll tell you why. I think that with Alabama, I mean, there's a couple things that just from last year, I'm still kind of scarred by. And one of the things is like how they played on the road, right? Like that just wasn't it. I'm gonna go slow cutting these because I do not want to cut myself. And yes, could I improve on my cutting skills? Probably so. But this is my show and this is my ceviche. They didn't play well on the road. They just didn't. And I start to kind of look at, you know, what we're questioning right now about Alabama. We know that they have incredible skill position players, right? Like that is not an issue. We know that we have a quarterback that we're confident in. You know, we'll have to see how the offensive line does. But these are a couple of things that I am worried about, okay, playing on the road in this opening game. I am worried about Gus Malzahn. Yo, Gus Malzahn has a lot of experience. He beat Saban head-to-head. And the other thing is, you got to look like experience-wise, Gus Malzahn versus Kane Womack. I mean, yo, Kane Womack is going the right place, right? Like, we like where Kane Womack is headed. But just experience-wise, man, like Gus Malzahn has a lot of experience, and we don't know a lot about Florida State because they got a lot of transfers, and I get it. They've been kind of the comedic relief for the last couple years for college football. But, you know, I don't know. Let me see how this looks. All right. I'm telling you, we'll have to see. Also, Alabama didn't play well on the road last year. I get it. Alabama fans, we won this game. This game is done, right? Like, it's a win. It's a walk in the park. Not necessarily. This game is going to be 150 degrees. You know, there's a lot on the line. This is Florida State's. Literally, this is like their Super Bowl. So I am going to take Alabama, and I will take the points in this particular game, okay? But what I'm saying is I think it might be close for the front of this game. So, you know, we'll have to see if it is close. But I'll take the points, and I'll take Alabama to beat Florida State, and I'll take the points. So maybe at the end of the game or something like that, Alabama returns a punt for a touchdown, or I don't know, something happens. Definitely want to have, look, this avocado, this cucumber is absolutely gigantic. So Second game of the season, Louisiana Monroe. I look at a game like this and, first game at Bryant-Denny Stadium, I think that this team certainly comes out and you start to kind of see Alabama and the offensive weapons that it has. This is a type of game where I'd imagine that, not throwing rat poison in it, but, a game where you see all the quarterbacks playing in this particular game. Keelan, maybe all quarterbacks throw a touchdown in this game. I don't know. It's just kind of one of those games. But I think they kind of come out and they show the offensive firepower under Ryan Grubb. And, we're happy with the outcome of this game kind of regardless, right? I think that they just dominate. It's a game where like Jalen Mbakwe will catch for like 100 yards and maybe Cole Adams, catches 2 touchdowns, something like that. You know how these games are. So, big win against Louisiana Monroe. By the way, I love cucumbers. Yo, you want to be friends with me? Like, bring me cucumbers and I'll be your friend forever. Okay, next up we got Wisconsin. I played Wisconsin on this silly video game, and I know it's not the same. I was kind of surprised when I played them by, how good their secondary was. I think the one thing that Wisconsin does have going for them is I will say that Wisconsin, their football coach is great. I like Luke Fickell, and I think he does a really good job. I mean, he was, there's few people in life that can admit when they took an ass kicking, and he's that guy, right? Like, he stood up and he was like, we got our ass kicked by Alabama, and that was just that. And he's right. So I don't see Wisconsin coming in. I mean, that 11 a.m. kickoff, that sucks. But still, you're getting an opportunity against the Big Ten, a team that has, a conference that has won the last 2 titles. So, you play hard and you come out with that game probably like, I don't know, 35-10 or something like that. Maybe 35-7, okay? Now, the fourth game of the season, clearly you have an open week after that, and then you take on Georgia. Now, look, do I want to say that Alabama's going to win every single game on the schedule? Is that possible? Yeah, it's possible. But is it realistic, right? Probably not. I think this schedule is tough. I mean, playing in the SEC is tough. Playing on the road is tough. And I've been talking about kind of the special teams and, the fact that they're young. And I think it comes into effect in a game like this. Look, Kalen DeBoer and Kirby Smart, that's going to be one hell of a matchup. And Kalen DeBoer doesn't lose these type of games, right? These big, I would imagine, because think about it, there's so many big games in week 1 that week 2, week 3, Alabama and Georgia are going to climb up. Georgia doesn't play really anybody before Alabama. So you could be looking at like a 2 versus 3 or something like that. And while Kalen DeBoer has been able to win those type of like mega matchups, and look, I've seen it time and time again. Since I've covered Alabama, it seems like Georgia's always the favorite. I've mostly seen them play in Atlanta. Never have I seen them play at Sanford Stadium. And Georgia fans, they have amnesia. They don't remember what happened last year. They don't remember anything. And all they remember is, that national title, which I find, it's fine. I get it. I will say this. I do feel that this could be, it's not a make or break type of a game. But, if I'm looking at games that they could lose and I'm picking that Alabama does lose, I'll put more pressure on Georgia. You're at Sanford Stadium. Gunnar Stockton, he's got a lot to prove. Alabama will be 3-0. Georgia will be 3-0. Home field, I think, will play the difference in this one. Maybe special teams comes into play. I'll take Georgia, and right now I have Alabama at 3-1. Okay, so next up, look, the teams coming in, they're absolutely loaded, right? You got Vanderbilt, who feels that they could win a championship. You got Missouri on the road. You got Tennessee, and you got South Carolina. Well, the Vanderbilt game, I mean, that's enough, redemption right there, just because Diego Pavia, is in that game, and because Diego Pavia, talks so much. So I think with that particular game, the difference will be like he's not gonna stop talking. I don't care like how many games Vanderbilt has won at this point in the season. I don't know if they'll be undefeated. I don't know what their schedule looks like off the top of my head right now. But he's going to keep talking. And this is the thing. Look, this is the truth. Teams feel that they can play with Alabama now. Teams feel that they can now play against Alabama because, there's a different coach, right, in Kalen DeBoer. So that has to be put to bed, and that can be put to bed in the first game of the season, or if they're able to beat Georgia, for example, right on the road. I mean, that's going to be figured out eventually. But Diego Pavia is going to talk. Alabama is going to be very hungry for that game, and I would imagine that Alabama does really, really bad things to Vanderbilt. I think that game, you could see, some dust-ups in that game. I think it's going to be a game with a lot of emotion. I think that they're going to get after Diego Pavia, and when they do get after Diego Pavia, I think that they're going to sit on Diego Pavia. So, that game is going to be high emotion because of last year, the fact that Alabama got punched in the mouth, 100%. So, give me Alabama probably by 2 touchdowns at Bryant-Denny Stadium in a very emotional game to where, it's hard hitting. That was the thing last year. Hate it or love it, the underdog's on top. Vanderbilt knocked the Alabama last year. Go watch the game. It was crazy. I'd never seen Alabama get hit like that. It was absolutely crazy. So give me Alabama. All right, so I got next up on the road against Missouri. You can't let these games be trap games, right? You can't let, like, Missouri and Eli Drinkwitz, who's kind of a funky type coach, right? You can't let him stay in a game like this. You can't go on the road and be overconfident. And this is probably a trap game, on the road again, right? Kind of like, think about this game like the Oklahoma game last year. Seriously, remember, how confident were we that we are going to beat Missouri or Oklahoma? 100%. It was the one dude that called in that told us that Oklahoma is going to be, tougher than they were, and they were. So they have a new quarterback, Eli Drinkwitz. Sometimes that guy can punch above his belt, so got to stay focused. You win that game. All right, who else you got? You got Tennessee. Look, I don't think Alabama is going to lose a game at Bryant-Denny Stadium. It'll be the same thing as last year. I think that Alabama, just at home, the schedule fares well for them, and you got Tennessee, and I think Alabama is able to take on Tennessee, and kind of same thing. It's like the redemption from last year's loss kind of carries over. Plus, I just think Alabama will be a better team than Tennessee this year. All right, let's see. We got South Carolina. Okay. This is a tough game, 100%. Like, I think that South Carolina is a team that has a coach that's young, that's hungry, that they're good. Sorry, I need to just rinse this cilantro off one more time. Look, they're good. South Carolina is going to be very, very challenging. If Alabama doesn't, I would be really amazed if Alabama is able to beat Georgia on the road and Clemson on the road, right? In the same season like that. That's going to be like really wild to me. So, oh man, I don't know. I kind of want to pick South Carolina in this game. Man, I don't want to give Alabama 2 losses at this point in time, but coming after that game after Tennessee, that's a tough one. All right. So give me overtime game. I'll take South Carolina over Alabama. Put some more pressure on the Gamecocks and Shane Beamer, and we'll see how they fare. I like to cut just take off the leaves on the cilantro a little bit. There's probably an easier way to do it, but this is kind of my method right here, so I can get just the leaves of the cilantro. Some people don't like cilantro. Do you like cilantro? Inside the comment. Some people say that it tastes like soap to them. I don't have that problem. It tastes really fresh, and it's kind of, it pairs really well with citrus to me. Like, that's just, that's how it is. So if you don't like cilantro, you don't have to do this step. I do. I think, honestly, it kind of is like the game changer of the dish, to be honest. Really, your fish is, but I think cilantro has that really like high impact flavor. Okay, so I have Alabama right now with 2 losses. And then you have an open week before LSU. I've said this before. Look, I love J.D. Piquel of On 3. You know, they're doing amazing things over there. I think he picked them to win the title, right? LSU. Man, I started looking at LSU's schedule. I don't even know if those guys make the playoffs. Their schedule is so challenging that I don't know how far LSU gets. I really don't. So Garrett Nussmeier, man, I feel he's overrated. I really do. I haven't been impressed with him. I think there's some really good quarterbacks in the SEC. I think he certainly is one of them. I'm just, you know, up top, Brian Kelly. I don't think, you know, he's like, I kind of like label him as James Franklin of Penn State. Like, those are two coaches that I just don't feel can get it done, especially in big games. I think Alabama beats LSU, especially the games at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Then you go and you take on John Mateer in Oklahoma. You take on Garrett Nussmeier, then John Mateer, after playing Lenore Sellers, after playing Joey Aguilar, after playing Diego Pavia. Yo, the quarterbacks in the SEC are absolutely it, right? So you got another redemption game, yo. Like, but the quarterback's good, and I don't know if he'll be hitting up Venmo. At this current point in time, I have no idea, you know, if that was even true. But John Mateer, he's legit, 100%. He's very good. But I think if you're going to beat Bama this year, you're going to have to be able to really run the football, right? And I think John Mateer in Oklahoma, they're going to be more of an air it out type team as opposed to last year's game plan where they wanted to run with Jackson Arnold and such. And so, yeah, give me Bama against Oklahoma. Again, the game is at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Alabama's not losing at home. And then we go Eastern Illinois. Okay, that's kind of, you know, we know how that's going to go. And then the game at Auburn. The game at Auburn is terrifying. You know, I've been here now this is my 10th season covering the team. The things that I've learned, and I said this on that radio show where they kept calling me Tyler. This is what we're looking like so far. Can you see that? So I got the tomatoes, we got the onions, the cucumbers, and the cilantro. Now, we'll put the avocado on after, right? And I guess you could have put the cilantro on after as well. Maybe we'll put some on as garnish, but I'll show you what we're gonna do next. And it's basically just making sure that we get as much lime juice over the fish as possible. So maybe I'll take a little of this cilantro and just kind of put it to the side for later. But since we put it in, it's gonna be fine. But I would probably recommend putting this cilantro on after. I'm curious to see if you've made it before. You probably agree with that step. So not a huge incompletion, but just, you know, that's where we stand. So the thing is, so you need one of these, right? We're gonna cut the lime in half, put it in here and just squeeze. The game on the road against Auburn is just going to be really, really challenging. Just because it is. The barn is haunted, 100%. Like, that place is crazy. We know this. And Hugh Freeze, who knows what he's capable of. And look, you can talk all the trash you want to. The fact of the matter is that Jackson Arnold, he beat Alabama last year. He really did. I know that hurts, but truth hurts. And that's exactly what happened. So look, in terms of like running the football, in terms of weird plays and all sorts of weird, you know what, that happens in a game like that. And you want as much lime juice as possible in this. So it is going to be really citrusy, but this is what's going to cook that fish that we're going to put on next. And we're going to chop up the fish and then we'll wait, and then we'll put the avocado on, and I'll probably make an ending video to where it shows you how it turned out. Look, I'm not saying that, damn, that's a big line, that Auburn is able to beat Alabama. I'm just saying, who the hell knows in the Iron Bowl. So I have Alabama going, I guess 10-2. That I think FanDuel has them at what, 9.5 wins. So I'm kind of like right there. Look, I'm not talking trash saying that I think they're going to lose. I think all the teams in college football are going to lose. I think maybe not in the Big Ten because their schedules are so soft, right? You seen Oregon's schedule? Oh my God. Who's going to beat them? You seen Penn State's schedule? I mean, they host Oregon. So the schedules are crazy. Who's going to beat Notre Dame? Seriously, the schedules are so easy. Oh man, I got a bunch of lime in my face. That was not good. So with that said, I got BAMA at 10-2. Cleaned up. And what I'm going to do now is you're looking at a finished product of, oh, my bad. I can't, sorry. This is my first cooking show. Stay with me real quick. We got to get the fish out, right? And we want more lime. So like, we're going to put a ton more lime. I have, more to do, but this is our snapper. So I'm just going to put it here, the cutting board, just like that. I'm going to put the plate in the sink and come back and do the dishes. And all you're going to do with your fish is you're going to chop it up, right? Just like this. And you are going to make just fish, little like cubes, right? And those are going to be your bites. Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention is that we also want to use our clam juice, right? So you want to open up your clam juice and you also want to put this in. So look, this is I'm still kind of in the process right now of building it out. So this is kind of what it's going to look like, but imagine it with more fish chunks, okay? So I'll show you the finished product inside the comment box or in the video, but this is what we're looking at, and this is my fish ceviche. Again, you can put octopus in it, you can put anything you want, but the final step is you're gonna wanna make sure once I have all this chopped and once I have it all put together, you're gonna let it sit in the fridge for like an hour or two, so get it nice and chilled, put it in a nice fancy cup. You can put a celery stick in it. It's a really good summer snack that I really enjoy. So I hope you guys have liked my fish ceviche. I'll show you a finished product as I'm talking right here, but let me know what you think, and I'll catch you next time right here on BAMA Football on YouTube. See ya.